Hello guys, welcome to the series of videos for online learning for the course of Reading 1. Considering the situations of COVID-19 outbreak, I also want to recommend you to stay home, wear face masks in the public, and wash your hands with soap and sanitizer frequently. I hope everyone can stay safe and follow the social distancing as well as self-quarantine rules according to the government's requirements. I'm sure you have a lot of free time now, so let's start learning some lessons from the e-learning system or LMS of Upt for passing boredom, because we never know when the pandemic is over. We met last time 2 months ago, and we know each other already. I gave you an overview of the course. Now I'll say it again. We use the main textbook Interactions 1 with 10 chapters. After you finish this course, the requirements are that you get knowledge about the world around us through 10 reading topics with a variety of long and short reading tests. For example, academic life around the world, cultures, sports, and so on. Besides, you can enrich your vocabulary and build your reading skills and strategies. Now let's move on to the next part, how to access the PowerPoints of today's lesson in the learning platform Edmodo. That I also supply the link on the LMS to guide you how to sign up at Edmodo. I assume everyone in our class has an Edmodo account because I told you to sign up on. At first, type edmodo.com in the search bar. You can see the browser of new Edmodo. I prefer the new one because you should keep up with the latest state-of-the-art technology, right? Choose login with your email address and passwords. Here we are. I saved them for automatically logging in. Now, I pretend to be a student, so my account is student guest. Just for testing, I have 2 classes for reading 1 this semester with 2 different class codes that I gave to your class monitor. So ask him or her to get that information. Roll down, you will see the PowerPoint with the title Reading Process Tips and Strategies on my latest post. I think before you start reading, you have to know some basic tips first. Someone may say theory is not necessary. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, because it's a personal opinion. But if you have a strong foundation, it's better to build your English reading comprehension and proficiency. You may know exactly what you're going to do. Well, so far so good. Here we go. This is the home slide about skills, tips, fundamentals, and choose reading. We have a link here leading to the YouTube videos of reading tips on my channel. You can turn on the subtitle by clicking the caption button here and sign out the full screen.
Before we come to the reading test, just get this out with these very simple steps for reading skills. The first key to read faster is to read the title. By reading it, your brain will be aware of what you're reading about. Next, don't self-focalize. In other words, don't say the words yourself. Even if you're saying the words softly, the act of saying them is going to slow your reading speed down. Next step is forcing your eyes to move across the page by using your finger or a pen that may have your eyes not bouncing around. Learn to see in groups of words or collocations. For example, be going to or Statue of Liberty. Read the first and the last sentences of each paragraph. The first sentence of each paragraph often tells you what it's going to be about, and the last sentence sums it up. If you read those two sentences and then just kind of jump through the middle, you will probably get the main idea of the paragraph. You don't have to understand everything and look up in the dictionary while reading. It's okay if you don't know some words. Use skills such as skimming, meaning you read for the main idea, and scanning, meaning you look for keywords and specific details. And finally, don't stop too long for a question. Just keep moving. If you get stuck, skip it. Then go back when you still have time. To sum up
those reading tips, you should read the title first. Don't say the words yourself loudly. Move your eyes across the page. Learn collocations or groups of words. Read the first and the last sentences to get the main ideas. Don't look up the dictionary while reading. Leave it for homework later. Use skimming and scanning skills. Don't stop too long for a question. I suppose almost you use smartphone while reading to look up new words. That makes you slow down. If you take a test in a time limit, it's hard to finish all questions on time. Therefore, please reset your habits. Just use dictionaries to learn new words or words. Now back to the home slide one more time. We have reading strategies and process. Go to reading strategies first. In reading 1, there are 2 main crucial strategies that you should master. They are summarizing a paragraph and vocabulary and language learning skills. So what's the summary? It should be shorter than the original. Of course, it refers main points and important details. It should be told in your own words. How to do a summary of a paragraph? Begin with the most general points about the topic. Tell the main idea in your own words. Give important supporting details, such as definitions, examples, facts, and reasons for that point. To shorten the summary, put similar ideas in the same sentence. Take the summary of paragraph A from the Reading University Around the World, page 11, for example. This is the original paragraph, and this is the summaries of this paragraph. We make a comparison of both. As you see, the original one is long, full of details. Otherwise, the summary is a shorter version with the main idea in another way of expression. Next, vocabulary and language learning skills. While reading, you should guess the meanings of more than 60% unknown keywords of the text. That may help you understand its general content based on the context. There are several ways that authors of the articles or reading passage commonly use to give the introduction of what he or she is writing about. By definitions, italics, parentheses, and synonyms. Regarding definitions, they use the verbs to be and mean to indicate or explain a person, an object, an animal, a place, a natural phenomenon, or a word or phrase meanings. Look at the example. Pay attention to the quotation marks attached by those definitions. What are these quotation marks for? It shows that you're not using your own words, but citing the other words or ideas. That means you borrow and extract someone else's sayings. Another sign to recognize keywords in a reading text is italics. Take this sentence as an example. Climate is blah blah blah, and climate is italicized. Parentheses are also a means of explanations for a term with its synonyms. Here, biometeorologists is the same sense of weather researchers. That's put in parentheses. As mentioned above, synonyms are words or phrases with similar meanings. For example, powerful, strong, and forceful are synonyms of each other. And that is the overview of the course of Reading 1. What I talked about were some reading tips and 2 reading strategies, including how to summarize a paragraph and how to enrich your vocabulary and learn language skills. At the latter point, we focus on definitions, italics, parentheses, and synonyms. The first thing I want you to do when you finish the lesson today is to choose a paragraph of a reading passage in Chapter 2 of the textbook and write down a summary of it. If you have any questions or comments, please send me email. Goodbye and see you.